Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 15 things that we waste our time on. It doesn't matter what line of work you're in, whether you're a doctor, a teacher, a nurse, or an entrepreneur, the most valuable commodity on the planet is time. Anyone who knows me or is on any of my mentoring programs will know that my WhatsApp tagline is 86,400. And that's because the more I study, the more I understand that time is the most valuable commodity. You really want to listen to all of this video, as it's important that you realize where your time is being lost. And the last one at the end of the video is really going to shock you, so be prepared. What the smartest and richest people in the world have worked out is that time is the most valuable commodity. It is more valuable than money because time is very finite and very limited. But having said that, you will be amazed as to how inventive we as human beings are at wasting time. We are masters of time wasting. We have PhDs, we have black belts in the art of wasting time. Okay, so let's get going on this list and be honest. If you see something that you're wasting time on yourself, make sure to hold your hand up, acknowledge it, and even leave a comment below. A quick introduction to me. My name is Nasser. I've been an online entrepreneur and investing in property for over 20 years. On my channel, I'm going to share with you my tips on how to improve your health, your wealth, and your productivity. Time waster number one, the silent assassin, being dismally organized. If someone came to you and said, would you work for 2.5 days for free? Well, of course you tell them, no, of course we wouldn't do that. It's ridiculous. However, studies reveal that the average person spends 2.5 days every single year looking for lost things. And that's the average person who may be semi-organized. Well, what happens if you're really badly organized? How much time are you losing just to being disorganized? Over 60% of people are late for work. Over 50% of people are late for meetings. Over 25% of people miss their flight. It's really not that difficult to get organized. Put your keys, your glasses in one place and plan your day in advance. This will literally put you ahead of 90% of the world just being organized. All you need to do is take half an hour a week, just sit down and work out what the plan's going to be for the rest of your week. I have a simple manual to-do list. I sit down every single week on a Sunday and plan the rest of my week. Time waster number two, multitasking. In a nutshell, friends, it does not work. I strongly recommend that you read the book The One Thing by Gary Keller. It's also available on Audible, and we're going to be talking about Audible later on. We fool ourselves into thinking that we can multitask, but it's been proven that really we can't. When you try to multitask, you're actually wasting time. It's that simple. Imagine driving a Formula One car. Do you think that you could race and get your laptop out and start answering your phone? Of course you can't. Imagine the world champion, Lewis Hamilton, or the old Michael Schumacher, driving along and just pulling up and saying, hey, how are you doing? Or just everyone else will just leave them behind. Multitasking does not work. Studies have shown that when you actually switch between tasks, you're massively losing productivity. Distractions are the absolute death of productivity. Now, what I suggest you do, use a simple tool. I've got one here, it's a simple timer, and I will just add 5, 10 minutes or 20 minutes, click start, and that is my tool, and I will just focus on one task until it's finished. Focus stands for follow one course until successful. Super important. Time waster number three, being obsessed with the news. Now, we all like to be up to date with the news, but do you really need to check the news constantly? The answer is no, you don't. This used to be one of my biggest time wasters because I love to be updated on what's happening, what the latest news is. So many people are spending their day keeping up to date with the latest news from multiple sources. It's one of the biggest wastes of time. The solution is set yourself a news window, maybe once in the morning and once in the afternoon, and that's the only time that you will check the news. End of story. Time waster number four, scrolling through anything and everything. In 2020, people spent an average of over 3 hours a day on social media. 18 to 24-year-olds are spending over 4 hours a day just on social media, scrolling through just about everything. It's projected that in our lifetime we'll spend over 6.5 years just purely on social media. Just think about that. Pick a time in the day when you will access your social news feed, and then after that, don't do it. Time waster number five. You are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. This may sound brutal, but if you're spending time with people who are just interested in laying about doing nothing, then you're wasting your time By spending time with them. You need to spend time with who are going to improve you, your circumstances, your business and your life. And if the people aren't improving you, honestly, you just need to move on and find other people. Time waster number 6, Netflix. Wow. Well, let me be clear. Netflix on its own is not a waste of time if you're going to sit and chill and relax for half an hour a day. That's very productive to recharge your battery. However, the unfortunate reality is that most people aren't using Netflix just to chill occasionally. They are using it to binge watch. Have you ever heard of someone saying, listen, a new drama or series has come out, I'm going to binge watch all 18 episodes in one sitting on a Saturday? That's 18 hours gone. That's a waste of time. Use Netflix for what it's meant to be, which is for some gentle relaxation and recreation. Number 7, and this is a bad one, constantly checking email. We check emails roughly 15 times a day. And every time we check our email, we will psych ourselves out of the task that we're doing and looking at your email and just getting constantly distracted. Try to create 2 specific times in the day when you will check your email. Once in the morning, perhaps once in the early afternoon. And then just discipline yourself just to check email in those times. Now, as a quick interlude, as anyone who knows me will know that I'm a big fan of Audible. Audible is where you can access books that are narrated and so you can listen to them on your headphones. I'd like to recommend a book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Now, this is not about spending 4 hours at work every single week. It's about optimizing how you do everything. We're talking about email, talking about your time, and how to make everything work really, really well. Strongly recommend it, and there'll be a link to this book in the description. Time waster number 8, daydreaming. Okay, this is a really difficult one because we all love to daydream and occasionally think about what if I did this, and it's good for motivation. But it's important not to sit there and float off and start dreaming about whatever. You need to remain focused on the task and not spend too much time daydreaming. Time waster number 9, trying to change someone else. Do you know someone that's seemingly throwing their life away, wasting time doing really stupid things, and you think, you know what, if only they were to do X, Y, Z, things would be so much better for them. A really good example could be as if someone is drinking far too much and you think, you know what, if you were to stop drinking, life would be so much better for you. But again, this is me trying to offer my advice to someone, and maybe you're not ready to listen to my advice. There's an old saying that you can walk a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. When we try and change someone, and we are seen as controlling, and if you invest months and sometimes even years trying to change someone and they're just not interested, ultimately it becomes a waste of time. Offer people advice. If they don't listen, you just have to let them go on their way. Sometimes it's not meant to be, and no matter what you say to people, they're not going to listen. So do your best, give them a token piece of advice, and after a while, you just have to let people live their own lives. It's a tough one, but sometimes we just have to draw the line. Time waster number 10. This one's going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Drinking alcohol is bad for you. I know there'll be various doctors and researchers who disagree with me, but I'm sorry. It's bad for you. When you drink, your liver and your body has to recover from it. And when people go out drinking, they will lose hours and maybe even the following day recovering from going out drinking. Most of it is cultural, social norms that we have to follow. We have to go to the pub, to the bar for a drink. No, actually you don't. If you're honest, it's just a matter of time before you're going to have medical and other problems if you continue to drink, and especially drink too much. So alcohol, huge waste of time, in my humble opinion. You should stop. As a quick interlude, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content, and smash the like button. Also, share this video with other people so they can benefit as well. Time waster number 11, perfection syndrome. This is one of the biggest problems that exists. So many people spend endless amounts of time trying to perfect things and not actually doing things because they think they need to make them perfect before actually getting anything done. Now, there's nothing wrong with striving for perfection, but that's very different to not doing anything. It's called analysis paralysis. Oh, I need to make sure everything's perfect before I do anything. You have to start now, get perfect later, and not waste time having to do everything in a completely perfect way. Time waster number 12 is mindless shopping mall browsing. So shopping centers in the UK, or shopping malls, as we say in the US and other parts of the world, are designed. People have spent millions and millions of pounds and dollars designing them to make sure that you are hooked into looking at the shops, looking at the next shop, buying things, and spending time in the shopping center. People meet at malls to hang out, to enjoy the air conditioning, to do a spot of window shopping. This mindless, small browsing is a waste of time, guys. Wasting time in shopping malls? Make sure you don't do it. Time waster number 13. No easy way to say it, but watching inappropriate, indecent material online. Not only is it a complete waste of time, but it's also damaging to your mind, your body, and your soul. People who are addicted to pornography, violence, and other inappropriate material will lose hours and hours, not to mention the negative impact this will have on your psyche and those around you. Don't waste time on it. Time waster number 14, constantly complaining. There are people that will happily sit around for hours just complaining, finding the negative in everything that they'll see and hear. We are surrounded by a negative news media, and you must be careful and be aware of this. Negativity will draw your energy out of you, and you need to avoid this at all costs. Learn to condition yourself, surround yourself with positive things and positive people, and remove all negativity from your life. Time waster number 15, being obsessed with what others think of you. This truly is the road to ruin. People not only end up wasting lots of time, but lots of money, and health problems come from being obsessed with what other people think of you. The truth is, not everyone is going to like you, no matter what you do. So you have to live life for yourself. Let me give you a bit of an extreme example. Let's take Donald Trump.
But there and then, we got hit by the virus that came from China.
Now, whether you like him or hate him, Donald Trump has got one thing that everybody will agree on. That is that he's a polarizing person. Some people, no matter what Donald Trump does, will always hate him. He could go and give £1 million to everyone in charity. Some people will still hate him. Other people, no matter what, even if he were to go and shoot 20 people in broad daylight, I'm pretty sure he said this on one of his videos, he would still be super popular. It doesn't matter what he does. The point is that you have to live your life and not worry about what other people think about you. Huge waste of time. So my advice is to do your best to live a good life and don't spend time worrying about what other people think about. So the next thing for you to do is to catch the video on the 10 things that you don't want to waste your money on. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you soon.